I'm going to give you my recommendations on how to load out your Aegis Avenger Stalker, and we're starting right now.
Aegis Combat Assist activated. Systems green.
Welcome to a Star Citizen's Loadout Guide. What's up, citizens? This is SubliminaL here, and in this guide, we will discuss my recommendations for both weapons and components for your Aegis Avenger Stalker. The Stalker's default loadout isn't very good in the current state of the PTU, so we got our work cut out for us. A full review of the Stalker is coming soon. When it's finished, you can find it in the info card above and on the end screen. Special thanks to all the support from patrons and channel members. It takes a while to make one of these, and your support is greatly appreciated. If this is our first time meeting, welcome. My name is SubliminaL, and my passions are Star Citizen and content creation. Be sure to check out some of my other Star Citizen content and consider subscribing. If you're considering becoming a citizen or know someone who is, be sure to use my referral link in the description or the code on screen to get 5,000 Alpha UEC in the persistent universe. No pledge necessary. Enough with the formalities, let's get to it. The Aegis Stalker is the bounty hunting variant of the Avenger series. Claiming warm bounties isn't currently a game mechanic. The primary focus will be to take advantage of the upgraded maneuverability of the Stalker and create a combat build. These recommendations are just that, my recommendations, and aren't the best for every situation. If you agree or disagree, let me know in the comments or share your loadout in the comments below. Stealth will not be factored into this build. This buyer's guide is brought to you by my Locations of Standing collection over on Display. Any purchase made supports the channel, and for every purchase, Display will plant a tree in places that need it the most. Click the link in the description. Let's start with the power plant, the component that gives all your other components power. The standard power plant on the Stalker is the Size 1 Grade 3 Civilian Class Power Bolt, with just over 2100 max power draw per second and a nearly 12.5 second draw request time. This suffers from a low maximum power draw and a high draw request time, and it might not allow for overclocking depending on what shield you use. I recommend swapping it out for a JS300. One JS300 is grade 1, military class, has almost 3700 max power generation per second and a 10 second draw request time. This will add more than 1300 max power draw per plant and reduce the time it takes to reach that max power draw down to 10 seconds, getting you more power to where it's needed sooner, and we will have plenty of room for overclocking. The JS300 will set you back just under 20,000 Alpha UEC and can be found at these locations. Let's discuss its coolers. These are used to cool the components we're going to add. The standard coolers on the Stalker are the Size 1 Grade 3 Military Class Bracer coolers, with a cooling rate of 260,000 kilos per second and a draw request time of 12.5 seconds. These coolers provide more than enough cooling capacity and have a decent draw request time. With doing some cooler testing for an upcoming components guide, I've determined that if coolers have enough capacity, it doesn't make a difference if you equip better ones or not. Stay tuned for that guide at a later date. I recommend keeping the polars. If you want to do it anyway, I recommend using 2 zero rushes. On paper, the zero rushes have more than enough cooling and are quickest at providing cooling. A zero rush will set you back a little over 16,000 Alpha UEC and can be found at these locations. Now for its shield generator that protects your ship and these components. The Stalker stock shield generators are the Size 2 Grade 3 Stealth Class Shimmer shield generators, with an HP pool of over 2300, a 306 HP per second regen rate, 50% minimum physical absorption, a 2-second damage delay, a 12-second down delay, and a 5-second draw request time. This shield is great for a stealth build, and with that much regen and such a low draw request time, it's blazing fast. However, I don't plan on using this ship for PvP bounty hunting, so stealth isn't important. For me, it's not worth taking a 61% less shield pool just to shorten my detection range. So what will I use then? Well, after finding out that ballistic penetration can be measured in the game files, I asked Urkel to add it to the calculator, and he did. Special thanks to him for doing it so quickly. This changes things for me. It's my opinion that there are 3 viable Size 1 shields: the super fast Mirage, the high HP pool and ballistic deflecting Guardian, and the best all-around shield, the FR66. Since the Avenger isn't super quick and nimble, I won't be going with the Mirage. Instead, I'll be pairing one FR66 with a Guardian. This will bring my shield pool up from around 4,700 to over 13,500, and will give us some extra protection against ballistic fire, all at the cost of having a slower regen rate. The FR66 and Guardian will set you back over 38,000 Alpha UEC and can be found at these locations. And lastly, the quantum drive that will help you get to the stores to sell these components faster. The standard QT drive on the Stalker is the size 1 grade 3 civilian class expedition with 149 megameter per second quantum speed, a 9.8 per megameter fuel requirement, a 5-second spool up, and a 10-second cooldown time. This drive is capable of making almost any trip in Stanton in one jump without needing to stop and refuel. However, it's pretty slow. I recommend adding the Atlas. It is grade 1, civilian class, has a 151 megameter per second quantum speed, a 7.5 per megameter fuel requirement, a 5.1 second spool up, and a 8.7 second cooldown time. This drive is slightly faster and has more range, so it's a win-win. The Atlas will run you about 18,000 Alpha UEC and can be found at these locations. Now let's talk about its stock weapons and my recommendations. The Stalker is equipped with a gimbaled size 3 on the nose and 2 gimbaled size 2s on the wings. And under each wing we have a size 3 MSD 322 missile rack. On the nose, the Stalker comes stock with a gimbaled size 2 Mantis GT220. One Mantis does 29 damage times 1000 RPM for a total of 480 DPS and a 2400 meter range. The Mantic is ballistic and comes with 4000 rounds that would deplete in 240 seconds of continuous fire. As you all know, I love these guns and will be keeping them. However, I can understand how the amount of ammo may cause a problem for you. If you prefer energy weapons, my new recommendation is to use attrition 3s. Under each wing, we have a gimbaled size 2 Omnisky 6 laser cannon. One Omnisky does 173 alpha damage times 78 RPM for a total of 225 DPS and a 2200 meter range. And you guessed it, to match the nose selection, I'll be adding the smaller Scorpion GT215s. One Scorpion does 21 alpha damage times 900 RPM for a total of 318 DPS and a 2100 meter range. The Scorpion has 8,000 rounds that would deplete in 533 seconds of continuous fire. Now this has significantly more ammo, but if the main gun goes out, you're still going to need to rearm anyway. So again, if you're going the energy route, I'd recommend using attrition 2s. For missiles, we have an MSD 322 missile rack with 2 Ignite 2s each. Ignite 2s are size 2, infrared, do 3700 damage, have a 1.5 second lock time, and a 5600 meter lock range. Under the other wing, we have another MSD 322 with 2 Tempest 2s. Tempest 2s are size 2, cross section, do almost 3500 damage, have a 2.5 second lock time, and a 5400 meter lock range. I recommend swapping both of these out for Strike Force 2s. Strike Force 2s are size 2, cross section, do almost 3700 damage, have a 2.5 second lock time, and a 4800 meter lock range. An honorable mention would be Rattler 2s. If you don't have about 90,000 Alpha UEC to spend on all this at once, I would buy them in the following order. The most important things here are the shields and weapons. The stealthy shields may be something to add when bounty hunting is fully implemented, but until then, I don't really see the point. And mixing the slow firing Omnisky with a GT220 just bugs me. Because we've added so much shield capacity, we need more power, so I would upgrade that pretty early too to avoid any issues if you're planning on overclocking. And of course, coolers are useless to upgrade in this situation, so we can save a ton of cost here. I do recommend buying the attritions even if you prefer ballistics like me, because if you plan on doing any long range battling, the ammo count can be annoying. Make sure you check out the link to this loadout at Urkel.games. I have a link in the description. Building this loadout would not have been possible without this tool. It even tells you the prices and locations on where to find these items in the verse. My recommendations are constantly changing, because the game is constantly changing, especially with the new 3.10 patch fixing fixed weapons. Head over to the SubliminaL channel Discord to see my updated loadouts. I'm building a community there for citizens who want to discuss ships, loadouts, components, weapons, and more. Click the link in the description. Those are my loadout recommendations. Let me hear yours down in the comments. My full review of the Aegis Avenger Stalker will be coming shortly, so make sure you're subscribed and have the bell clicked. If you're considering becoming a citizen or know someone who is, be sure to use my referral link in the description or the code on screen to get 5,000 Alpha UEC in the persistent universe. No pledge necessary. If you enjoy this channel, there are 6 ways to support it. Number 1, you can smash that like button. Number 2, you can share this content with someone who may enjoy it. Number 3, you can check out my Locations of Stanton collection over at this plate. Number 4, you can subscribe and turn on notifications by clicking the circle here. Number 5, you can become a channel member by clicking the join button below. And number 6, if you're feeling generous, consider becoming a patron. Some pledge perks can be seen here, including desktop versions of my Locations of Stanton collection available to all patrons. If not, your viewership is greatly appreciated. Until next time, citizens, I'll see you in the verse.